I need you to listen because I have a very important question for you. It's a question that technically has no correct answer, but will shine light on the type of person you really are at your core. Crazy enough, it was some random guy on the side of the street that asked me this question in the first place. So I want you to take your time to think about it and really be honest with yourself when I ask. Are you the type of... Frick, I messed up! So recently I've been rewatching a few anime that I just had a really good time watching before. So like Kokoro Connect, Romantic Killer, High School of the Dead. Okay, why are you flinching? And eventually I made my way to, is it wrong to try to pick up girls in a dungeon? And I know what it sounds like, but this is actually a masterpiece. Kind of. Okay, don't look at me like that. Because this is one big fairy tale, essentially. There's extinct heroes, there's a dungeon, there's gods and goddesses. They even have dragons, apparently. And through all of these fairy tale-esque elements, we focus on some guy named Bell, whose grandfather, before later dying, by the way, said to him, I'm trying to get my old voice, bro, chill. Young man, type is but a myth. If she bad, she bad. Right, and you said this anime was how long? 5 seasons. There are 5 seasons of this anime about an adventurer named Bell, who's the only member of this goddess Hestia's Familia. And while he starts out very weak, over time he gets stronger, and he makes more friends, and he gets new Familia members, and he fights stronger people, and levels up. And can you tell this story isn't the most insane thing ever? I have nothing to hide. The structure of this story is really just kind of there, I don't know. And the main character usually is not doing it any favors either. Like, he's one of those... Tell me you don't know what I'm talking about. Go ahead, lie to me. I know I'm probably not describing your new favorite anime. This has a lot of weak points, I can't deny that. And at first glance, it doesn't look complex enough to really be anything but okay. The only thing is, why then, out of everything I could have watched, and along with the peak that I was watching before, but I have come to rewatch this like 70 episode anime that I just said I thought was basic. I guess my real question is, what is it that makes me like this anime so much? That was supposed to be the question, but I answered it so fast. Come here, walk with me, I want to show you something.
Dungeon Oratoria? Those are good.
That's right! There's also this one I liked about the knight who traversed a labyrinth on his quest for the Holy Grail.
Yeah, that's The Adventures of Gerard. The one where the queen was suffering from an illness, so he searched for the grail to cure her.
Oh wow, you know of it! What about the one where a sorcerer...
Look at that, you see that? You feel like a creep now, don't you? Eavesdropping on two people's conversation. Get over here. Danmachi is really weird when it comes to relationship building. Not in a bad way, honestly, in a really cool way. It's just that a lot of anime simply don't operate like this. Like, sometimes the anime would be anime and have characters become super good friends stemming from nothing, but other times people would just talk. Like normal. The conversations aren't always funny, they're not always over the top, they're just, well, shoot, conversations. It doesn't feel like they're being had for the viewer, right? Like explaining what the dungeon is or why this is actually a really bad person because, oh snap, flashback! It's like they're being had because 2 different people just wanted to talk. You're just here, what are you doing here? I had 5 of these parts that I really wanted to show because they all gave off that same kind of energy. Like the energy of the writer slowing down the clock to really get to know that just one character. I just didn't want to use them all right here in the video for pacing reasons, but just know that this isn't the only time this happens.
You want them to be trustworthy, right? You want them to be faithful to themselves. You know they're going to stand up for what they believe in. They have these values, and you can rely upon that.
I hate to pull you away from the anime you were watching, but have you seen this video? It's called The Science Behind an Attractive Personality. I was watching it purely for entertainment reasons, by the way. May Zeus strike me down if I'm... Zeus, I thought we was tight though! The premise of the video was that there were 3 guys being put through a series of social tests, where in the end they'd be judged by 3 women individually. Then after that, there'd be I think he was a flirtation professional dissecting the conversation. But the point of the video was to capture that cold conversation factor. Like what to say or how to talk to someone at that point where you want to get to know them, you just don't know what to even start to say to them. It's an awkward phase because the two people are trying to find some common ground, but there's no guarantee that it even exists like that. So most of the interaction is just kind of hard to watch, but that makes it to where when something does line up, I'd get swept in the conversation, and before I knew it, I'd look like this. What's he smiling about? And when it comes to anime, I know that things are a little bit different, but hey, look at me. It's the same deal. It gives me the same feeling. Here, you remember in this clip I just showed you? They're just talking about fairy tales they like. The medium is different, but this is a lot like being in that first stage of talking to someone. Granted, it's minus a lot of the ugly parts, but still. They just found that common interest and now they look like this. You could simplify this to character building if you want, but my point is, the way it's gone about is so down to earth when it wants to be. Especially when we consider that this is an action anime, and that's not normally how relationships are done here. Because most simply don't have the time. A nice casual conversation is always great and all, you'd love to see it, but let's not forget what this is. We're still watching in action. This is the world of swords and sorcery, not sunshine and rainbows, man, you tripping. None of this matters if nothing hits the fan, right? Like, if nothing does or even really could go wrong potentially, then the whole thing is just kind of boring. We all know that. So the action ends up being the contrast we want to see. The worse the better, ironically. It's why I can keep gassing up the slower parts in this anime, but wouldn't do the same for an anime that was only meant to do this, like a drama or something. The stakes are just higher here, and it gets worse with every season, which I guess based on what I said earlier is better, but you know what I meant. The only way to make small things matter is if they're actually small things. If they're the whole show and all the show is, they're no longer small things, they're just things. So a good way to keep those small things is by adding a bit of...
Let's add a touch of conflict in, throw in the Minotaur.
Nah, actually scratch that. He's good, but they wanted real problems. So let's use the strongest enemy the dungeon has to offer. It kills everyone and everything it comes across, no matter who they think they are.
You want a contrast, right? Well, here it is. Here's your contrast.
Right at that moment is when you get your hero.
Whenever you find yourself with the odds all stacked against you, you can still be able to win with the small bit of power you have left. That's what we like to call a hero shot. And it fits you just perfectly. I mean, don't you think?
Everybody wants a hero. At least here they do. So when somebody who genuinely is that shows up, it's magical. And it's like the most anime ever. So what separates it then? Every main character is supposed to be the hero, and this one isn't even trying to be cool about it. His special move is the power of friendship. That's so lame. But what I think is that the small moments are what separate this from other shonen. It's the small things done right, specifically. I know that hundreds of other people have probably come to that same conclusion about hundreds of other anime, but this is one of the only ones in my experience that, number one, works them in without them feeling too forced, and number two, isn't all about that. Plus, I appreciate that Belle's ultimate goal isn't to become something stupid like the number one king of the leaders of what did I write here? But instead, it's to catch up to one person who isn't even the strongest, by the way, and confess his feelings. He's just like one of the side characters. Someone saved his life and then he fell for her. It's a love story. This whole thing is like a high school love polygon. Just with a few hundred extra steps, but parts like these are what remind me of that. Like, yeah, the action is definitely tough, but let's not forget where we started. It's so weird too, because this is just a like, dude, these are just conversations, yeah? What's even better is that if you, like, are really paying attention to them, you kind of start picking up on things about each person. And later you might see them do something or think in a manner that makes sense based on what they might have passively said in a conversation 2 or 3 seasons ago. Nothing in the anime is gonna tell you this though. You just notice it. It's show don't tell the way that it's actually supposed to be done. These characters are, for the most part, consistent. So when there's time for them to talk like normal people, those parts matter just as much as the action does.
I'm not saying that we should stay stagnant forever and forget self-betterment. No, it's the opposite. I think accepting chaos is the first step to becoming someone better. If life is a puzzle that isn't meant to be solved, why not focus on the beauty of the mundane instead? Why not focus on being authentic? If there's a possibility that I will end my life as clueless as I have begun it, what can I focus on instead? And that's the question I think we should ask ourselves.
What goes on when nothing is really going on is just as important as what's in your face when things are going on. Action without the in-betweens is meritless, and the in-betweens without anything breaking them up is just plain boring. It's only when they're mixed at this very specific, I call it temperature, that they achieve the perfect balance. And I'm gonna be honest, I actually don't even think that this anime quite achieved it. If it were up to me, there'd be more of these slower conversations that build character. If it were up to me, Bell would get less credit for getting the final hit on a monster that his teammates did 90% of the damage to. If it were up to me, 90% of the third season wouldn't even exist, I don't know. But it got so close to that balance for me. I could feel when the anime wanted me to care specifically about one character because it worked every time. Except for the third season, which, like I said, it was overall pretty buns anyway. But that's what I've been up to for the past few weeks. I've been rewatching the best anime from my younger days. Oh, my back! Anyway, I appreciate you watching. I'm off. さよならの歌胸に約束を数えてるけど